Good morning, well, this is Ivan O'Mara. Just woke up. Hope you guys enjoy my show. I hope you guys enjoy my CFL videos, by the way. Yeah. All right, American football fans. Oh my God, I didn't know it was that bad in the CFL. Yeah, CFL is the only pro league that doesn't trust its own nationality, the best players in its own country to put on the show for the fans. Like all the pro football players in Europe, CFL, that league trusts those players to put on a good enough show. And those players are not even close to being as good as the Canadian players for the European fans. The NFL trusts the best American players to put on a show for the American people for their pro league. For some reason in Canada, the CFL doesn't trust the best Canadian athletes who are drafted to put on a good enough show for the fans, and they bring in all these American guys because they're trying to beat the NFL of Canada. That's why they do that. We're trying to put on good quality football. Obviously, yeah, they're trying their best to be the NFL, the CFL. That's why they're. I think the CFL is a little bit desperate. That's why they bring in all these undrafted, unsigned free agents in the states to the league to have better quality football. But you notice how the fans don't resonate with American guys CFL. They're not resonating with those guys. Don't hate them, so yeah. I know the fans not resident though because there's been little growth in their league. The ratings for television has not been going up, and I know for a fact that when I watch the CFL and when they try their best to promote the heck out of all these American guys, I don't really care about these guys, man, because they're American. I can't resonate. Yeah, right, they're amazing, and the fans love them. I know the fans love them. The fans when they become CFL stars, the fans love them and everything, and amazing athletes, but they can't resonate with them CFL because they're American. They're from a different country. Like, I don't resonate with those guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even ask those street because I'm Canadian, man. They're from a different country. It's like when they talk about like his goalie, Van Mitchell's best quarterback, can he take his team to the Grey Cup? Yeah, it's cool, and I'm a little bit interested, but I don't really care that much. Obviously. Because they're American people. I don't know anything about these guys, man. They're just guys who come up here from the States who happen to put on the show, and they're amazing athletes. They really are. They're amazing players, obviously. Amazing players, and they happen to put on the show. But like, I don't really care that much about them because they're American. That's what I'm saying. Why do the fans love the American star players? Yes, they do. They do, obviously. They become CFL stars. The CFL fans will love them and everything. They love them, obviously, but they don't really care that much about them the way they care about the Canadian players, right? That's the point, obviously, because they're American. Like they don't even know any. They have no information about these guys. They're just guys who happen to come up here and put on the show. But the fans are clues. They don't know anything about these guys, man. Where they even came from, obviously. They're American, they're from a different country, so it's tough for them to resonate with those guys. Obviously. Yeah. Why do you think the CFL does that? I think they're trying to be the NFL of Canada. That's why they do that. Like, they're trying to bet. Yeah, I want to put on quality football almost as good as the NFL. That's why we bring in the American guys. But like CFL, you're never gonna be the NFL. Stop trying to be the NFL. The NFL is for the American football fans. The CFL is for the Canadian football fans, obviously, because they know if we get rid of the American talent, the quality of the CFL will not be what NFL will have quite a bit of higher quality than our Canadian football league, because the best American players have a bit of the edge and talent over the best Canadian players, obviously. All right, how big of a drop in quality will they be? They'd be a little bit of a drop, or not. It won't really make that much of a difference, obviously. Right? I'd say I don't know, 5% drop in quality. Honestly, yeah, I think the quality would be Yeah, I know the quality will dip. That's why the CFL never do that. See, it's risky. It's risky, obviously. The quality will dip, not by much, but it'll dip a little bit. Like right now, there's like I don't know, maybe a 12% difference in quality with the CFL and the NFL around there. When you watch CFL and the NFL, do you see a difference? A little bit, yeah. NFL, you can tell it's a bit better quality, but the CFL is not much worse quality than the NFL. It's almost as good as the NFL. NFL's 100, CFL's maybe. I said 85%. No, CFL's maybe. I don't know. You see maybe a like 12% drop in quality around there when you compare the NFL and the CFL. There's a little bit of a drop in quality when you watch both games, but they're both entertaining. Yeah, the CFL knows will never be the NFL, but they're trying to. They're obviously trying to be the NFL of Canada, the CFL. That's why they bring in the American guys in the States so they can put on better quality football. But you know, CFL has your league's not growing because I think you're being a little bit desperate, whereby you have to bring in guys from different countries and have them be the stars of your league in Canada. Like, I even like their talent. Yeah, you guys are obviously you're trying to be the NFL of Canada when you're never going to be the NFL. We're never going to be the NFL, but like that's how we grow the league. You bring in the American players, the talented American players, have them be the stars up here, and we pour on everything football. That's how we grow the league. But the fans are obviously not resonating with these players, obviously, right? And I know why, because they're American. They're from a different country, man. Yeah. Life and they're resonating with them. They love them. Yes, I know they love them and everything. And because they're American, they don't really care that much about these guys, man. Like they're American. They can't resonate with them. They're from a different country. So I know him. Yeah, they're from a different country. Yeah. I think all the Canadian players playing in the CFL would agree with you. Of course they do. Yeah, it'd be nice for us Canadian athletes to get our time to shine here, but it's never going to happen, guys. The CFL has a bias towards the American players, and they don't think you Canadian guys are. You're such a fucking dipper. Why don't you say, well, it's the truth, man. You CFL, you don't believe the best Canadian athletes in Canada are good enough to put on a show on television for the Canadian people. Like you downgrade the Canadian talent. I even like they're amazing talent. They're just not the American guys. Because they're trying. Yeah, they're trying. You're trying to be the NFL of Canada. That's why you bring in all these American talented players. But the fans are not resonating with these American guys. CFL, they're not resonating. I don't resonate with them. I really don't. I don't resonate with these guys because they're from a different country. Right? I don't mean to be rude. It's just true, right? I don't resonate with the American players that much. Obviously, whereas the Canadian players are more interested, obviously. If they talked about, I don't know, can Brad Sinopoli bring, is Brad Sinopoli the best quarterback in the CFL? Can he bring his Ely Cup? I'd be a lot more invested and interested in the game because he's Canadian. I can relate to him, and it's just the automatic Canadian bias I have. Like it's easier to relate to the Canadian players. I even know that because they're Canadian, but the quality will dip. They're not as talented. We can't take that risk, Ivan. Yeah, because you're trying. Stop being blinded by the American talent level. You're trying to be the NFL Canada. You're never going to be the NFL. The American football fans don't care about us. Don't care about the CFL. Obviously, whereas the Canadian football fans care about the CFL. Even though the quality will not be as good as the NFL, it's still amazing quality football. Obviously, some saying. You have to put the athletes through better training, guys. But the Canadian athletes do better training, and we can pull it off. Yeah, yeah. And your revenue league can double in like 10 years. It'll never be the NFL and the NHL, but your league revenue CFL can double to, I don't know, 450, 500 million in 10 years, man, if you make this change. But at the same time, it's a little bit risky because the quality will dip. You know, Ivan, that's what we worry about, because the quality will dip a little bit, even if it makes that much of a difference. Less fans in Canada will be interested in the games because it's not as entertaining football. That's the dilemma, obviously. Yeah, never gonna happen. Yeah. Well, Ivan, you got to give these American guys their opportunity to play pro football. But the NFL guys doesn't give Canadian players an opportunity. Ivan, they do, yeah, but barely. If they do get NFL opportunities, they're never going to start, man. It's not going to happen. The chances are they'll end up on the practice roster or they'll end up playing special teams, man. The NFL has a bias towards Canadian players. And you know, yeah, because they're American. Yeah, they don't like us Canadians. So why are you giving all these American guys their opportunity to shine up here in our country, in our league, when they're not even from here and they never wanted to be here to begin with? Honestly, because I don't mean to be rude, CFL. The CFL is like a farm league to these American guys. Like, these guys never wanted to be here to begin with. They want to play in the NFL. I don't even be an asshole. It's just the truth, man. The CFL is pretty much a farm league to these American guys, right? There's a lot of CFL stars when they get their opportunity, they leave. So it's all so a lot of them are using the CFL so they can get their NFL opportunity. They don't really care about being here. Most of them, anyways. I mean, when do the American athletes care about playing the CFL? When they have a successful career and they've been playing for quite a long time, and the fans love them, making a lot of money. Now they take the league more seriously because they're having an amazing career up here. But even though they're having an amazing career up here, this was never their dream to begin with. CFL, their dream was playing in the NFL. CFL is kind of like a farm league to these American guys. And you GMs and coaches know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we know that, Ivan. Then why are you giving all these guys an opportunity to shine up here when they never want to be here to begin with? And this is like a farm league to they can go to the NFL. When the Canadian athletes, this is not a farm league to them. This is, they want to play up here, man. This is their dream. They want to play. They don't care about the NFL, the Canadian athletes, CFL. They want to play in the CFL because they're Canadian. This is their country, right? This is their league, right? Williamson, yeah. Yeah. And that's why a lot of, I don't mean to be an asshole, that's why a lot of the American football fans, even some of the Canadian football fans, they see your CFL as like a minor farm league for these players for the NFL. Because you're bringing all these guys who didn't get their NFL opportunity. And then when they do well up here, they ditch the CFL to play in the NFL. And that's how you know they never want to play here to begin with, guys. This is not their dream. Their dream is playing in the NFL. CFL is their second option, obviously, if they don't make the NFL. The CFL is the second best pro football league after the NFL, obviously. So I'm saying. But I have not given an opportunity. Guys, they can play in the Arena Football League, they can play in the XFL. That's good enough, right? Oh, you're just a fucking dick. Well, it's the truth. Like, the NFL, I'm talking to you, Americans. Your NFL league doesn't give us Canadian players an opportunity to play for pro football up there. So how's that fair? How's it fair that all you American guys who come up here and who are amazing athletes get to shine in our country? That's not fair, guys. It's not fair. I don't even mean assholes. It's just the truth. I'm saying it's not fair. Right? There you go. I don't even say yeah. So I the CFL pretty much is a farm league. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, it is to the American players, not to the Canadian players, because the Canadian players actually don't care about the NFL. Their dream is actually playing pro football here. They don't care about the NFL. Whereas the American guys, their dream was not playing in the CFL. Their dream was playing in the NFL. So a lot of the guys coming up here, they not all the guys, but a lot of the guys who come up here, they use the CFL obviously to get their another NFL opportunity. Obviously, as a lot of CFL stars leave to the NFL, that's how you know they never wanted to play here to begin with. Obviously, but a lot of them turn down the offers obviously because they know their chances of starting is not high, and like once they have a very successful career and they know the fans love them and they're making a really good living. It's like they're like, yeah, fuck it, this is good enough for me. Yeah, they turn it down, but a lot of them take NFL opportunities too. So the CFL is kind of like a farm league for the American players coming up here to get another NFL shot. And you GMs and coaches know what I'm talking about. And that's true, it is, yeah. And you know what I'm saying? You're giving these guys all their time to shine up here. They never want the beard to begin with. Be playing the CFL's not the dream, man. Playing the NFL's a dream, right? Oh, Jameson, yeah. Yeah. I mean, is it still success playing the CFL? Of course it is. You think all those guys who didn't get the kind of opportunity, if they get to come up here and be CFL stars and have an amazing career and they get to be legends and everything, that's still a big success, obviously, because they got to be legends in another pro league in another country. That's still a big success. But even though they got to be legends up here, that this was never the dream, guys. They wanted to be legends in the NFL, but they just didn't get their opportunity, right? Yeah, that's my point, right? Yeah, yeah. All right, the CFO got rid of the American talent. Yeah, if the CFO got rid of the American talent, it will no longer be seen as a farm league for for the American players who want to play in the NFL. And no one will now see the league as a minor league because it's now the best players playing in that country. It's the greatest Canadian athletes playing in that country, obviously. So they don't see it as a they don't people will no longer see the league as like a farm league for the American players, obviously. That's the truth, man. The CFL is a farm league for a lot of these American players. They're using your CFL to get another NFL opportunity, man. They don't care about the CFL. A lot of those guys. So a lot of them do. Like when they're successful, a lot of them they love the CFL. They have a great career. I get it, but a lot of these American guys who come here are using your CFL as a farm league to get another NFL opportunity, man. They don't really care that much about the CFL. So I'm saying, I don't hate him. Yeah. Hey, no, that's a lie. They care about the CFL, but like they want to play in the NFL, man. That's their dream, man. It's not playing the CFL, guys. yeah, and you're willing to give those guys the opportunity to shine up here over the best Canadian athletes who actually want to play up here, man. This is their dream. The Canadian athletes, their dream is actually playing in the CFL. They don't really care about they don't care about the NFL. The Canadian athletes, we know that, but like they're not as talented, man. Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyways, you always see fans agree. Ivan, you're right. Yeah, the CFL is pretty much like a farm league for the. Yeah, it is. It's a farm league for a lot of these American guys coming up here. They're using your CFL, a lot of these guys to get another NFL shot. Obviously, that's a lot. CFL loses quite a bit of stars in the NFL. They do. The UGM's on top of yeah. I mean, yeah, you're losing a lot of the amazing American athletes who come here to the NFL because that's their dream. It's not playing here, guys. They're only here because they didn't get the NFL opportunity. You guys want him saying, yeah. I get paid tomorrow. Shitty paycheck though. But I seriously, man, when they talk about all these American quarterbacks, like, do you really care that much? I care a little bit. Like, yeah, they're amazing players. They're star players. They play up here. They're amazing players. They're amazing professional athletes playing in the Canadian Football League, and they're killing the league and they have a successful career. But because they're American, I don't even know who the fuck these guys are. No, I can't resonate with them. I don't really care that much because they're from a different country. It's just my Canadian bias. I don't really care about these American guys that much. Oh, yeah. I think obviously fans would be, yeah, you're right. We love them and they're sequel stars, but we can't resonate with them. They're American. Yeah, they're American from a different country. So it's tough to resonate with those guys, right? Oh, yeah. But the CFL doesn't care. Obviously, no, like they're unknowns. The fans may not resonate with them, but they're very talented. Yeah, you're blinded by the American talent, the unknown American talent. Obviously, they're unknown CFL from a different country. They may be very talented, but like they're unknowns to the Canadian people, right? That's the reason why I believe your league's not seeing very minimal growth because even though these guys who come out here are amazing athletes and they're having a successful CFL career and they're putting on a show and they're the stars of the league, it's tough for the fans to resonate them because they're American, they're from a different country. You guys some saying? No, I'm saying, yeah. 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 One of these days I'm gonna show you the Herb Brooks clip when he talked to the Olympic Committee. You know what I'm saying? When they interview for head coach, okay, yeah, get rid of the NHL athletes. I don't want NHL athletes in my team. He said your NHL All Star team failed because they relied solely on the individual talent. He said, I want the best college athletes in USA compete for Team USA. We supposed to do better conditioning and training, and I can pull this off. Obviously, and he pulled it off. His USA college team, they won the whole gold medal round, man. They beat the Soviets, man, who were the best hockey team in the world at the time, right? Yeah. Look, man, if you want a better performance in the field from the best Canadians, you have to put them through better conditioning, training, and coaching. Put all the quarterbacks through better coaching, conditioning, and training, and you'll get a better performance in the field. It will not be as good as the American players, guys, but still, it will still be amazing quality football. You just downgrade the Canadian talent, right? God, I'm sorry, man. It's risky, man. We don't think they're good enough to put on as good quality football, obviously, for the Canadian people, obviously, right? Yeah, yeah. The AFC will ever make that change? No, never gonna happen. It's risky, obviously. They know it could be, yeah, it could be pretty big, it could be huge, Ivan, but it's risky, Ivan. Like they have the dilemma. Yeah, like the Canadian players have higher market value to the Canadian people because they can relate to them. They're Canadian, and a lot of the fans know about these guys when they get drafted and everything. And they can build more buzz when the pound talks about like this franchise named quarterback and everything. But they know the quality will dip a little bit, and because the quality will dip, the fans watching in Canada will less people will tune into the game. So it's risky, obviously. That's why they're never going to do that. Because the American guys are the ones who put on more show in the CFL. Obviously, you come up here, obviously, they put on the show. They really do. They put on the show in the CFL. Obviously, the American guys come up here. So they think by doing that, that's how they grow the league, obviously. But they're stuck in a pickle. Yeah, like even though these American guys put on a show, they're unknown to the Canadian people. So because all these American guys who come here are the stars of the league, we have no choice but to promote them. Yeah, that's your dilemma. That's your pickle, CFL. Like these guys are unknowns to the Canadian people, but if you have all these American guys be the stars of the league, you have no choice but to promote these guys on your TSM Pro and all stuff, and you knows how the fans are not really resonating with these guys because they don't know the fuck these guys even are, man. They're Americans from a different country, so it's tough to resonate with them. Obviously, don't hate him saying yeah. I think all you see fans are yeah, and you're right. Even though we love them and they're Seafood stars, and when they talk about can Bo Levi Mitchell, can Art Buckle, can Vernon Jr., whatever his name is, go to the Grey Cup, yeah, it's cool. We're interested, obviously, but like we don't really care that much because we can't resident them. They're American. Yeah, they're American from a different country. Like you guys, I'm saying, I don't hate them. Saying, yeah. So it's tough to resonate with them, obviously, right? Uh, so if you were CFO commissioner, which I'm not going to be, I'm way too big for the CFO. I'm worth more than the entire league, obviously. But if I was appointed CFO commissioner, this is what I would pitch to the committee. They would laugh me off. Why? They would laugh me off as crazy. No, guys, I'm not kidding around. If you do this, your league will grow, man. I know what I'm doing, man. You promote the Canadian talent, homegrown talent. The people in Canada will relate to these guys more because they're Canadian. They have higher market value than the American guys. They do, Ivan, but like they're not as talented, Ivan. Yeah, yeah. Put them through better conditioning and off-season training and coaching by the coaches, and you'll get a better performance in the field. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, never gonna happen. No, not gonna happen. Yeah, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I guarantee there are some people. There are some, maybe there are some people working in the CFL who agree with me. Yeah, even though the American guys are more talented, they're unknown. Yeah, they're unknown to the Canadian fans, obviously, Canadian football fans. Obviously, yeah, I mean it could work, but I mean it's risky, man. The quality will dip. Yeah, even though the quality will dip, I guarantee you more fans will tune in Canada, man, to your games because they know these are actually the best Canadian players playing up here in Canada, competing, obviously. And they talk about all these franchise Canadian quarterbacks. They're going to be more interested because they can relate to them. They're Canadian, obviously. They can relate to them more, and they care a little bit more because they're Canadian. Whereas the American guys, they can't relate to them because they're from a different country, right? Yeah, that's my point. All they right now is, I mean, you're such a fucking dick, man. I don't even rude guys, the truth, but I don't relate to you guys that much. Because you're American. You're amazing athletes and you're putting on a show up here, but it's tough for me to resonate with you guys because you're American, right? You're from a different country. That's just the way I feel as a Canadian person, right? Yeah. So I when the see yeah when the CFL panel they talk about like this star receiver, this star American receiver, this star quarterback, and all that stuff. Like who's the best receiver in the league? Who's the best quarterback in the league? Yeah, it's cool. I'm a little bit interested, but like I don't really care that much because they're American from a different country. And I always have that thought in the back of my mind. Yeah, even though these guys are stars of the league, man, like I'm sick of this bias. It'd be nice for the panel to talk about like more Canadian stars. In the league, I'd be a lot more interested. But I'm like, it's never gonna happen because the league has a bias towards the American players, obviously. So Sarah, I do always have that thought. Yes, I do. Yeah, even though it's cool when they promote all these star American quarterbacks to CFL and receivers and running backs and corners and all that stuff. Like it would be nice to have some Canadian athletes be the stars of the league. I think we do have, yeah, but like you barely have any Canadian star athletes in your league CFL. Most of your star athletes are the old linemen in your league. And the rest of the star athletes are all the American guys, obviously, right? That's how it works. Yeah. The old linemen are the star athletes. And most of the star athletes in the CFL are the old linemen, the non-skill position. Because that's how much the CFL downgrades the Canadian talent. And that's why the old linemen who play NCAA and CIS are very valuable to the CFL, obviously. Because most of the starting players in the teams are the old linemen, obviously, the old linemen, the Canadian linemen. Most of the starting players in the team, obviously, right? Canadian linemen. All you American guys like that's funny. The most valuable Canadian position, the CFL is the Canadian line, the lineman, obviously, because it's less risky. It's a non-skilled position, whereas the skilled positions are not as valuable to the CFL compared to the linemen. The linemen are very very valuable to the CFL, obviously, because it's the least riskiest position. But it's a non-skilled position, obviously. The lineman, obviously, right? That's how it works. That's funny, I know. Let me say, guys, Afi's about to back in a sec. Don't hate him, son. Hope you guys join the show. Right back, guys. Oh, your Seahawks are sick. I know. All you American football fans probably thought. I thought like all your star players in the CFL were all these Canadian guys. No, no, man. All the star athletes in the CFL are all the American guys, man. Who come up here from the States, who didn't get their opportunity, right? Those are the stars of the league, not the Canadian players. They are Canadian stars, but barely, man. Very few. Most of the star players are the alignment. The alignment, yeah, those are the star players. So they have limited opportunity to shine up here, obviously, right? Yeah. I guarantee even some of the Canadian pro football players didn't know that either. We know about the bias, but we didn't know the league obviously doesn't trust you guys to put on a good enough of a show on television for the Canadian fans. That's why they bring all the American guys. They have them start up here because the league obviously doesn't think you guys are good enough. The Canadian pro football players are good enough to put on a good enough of a show for the Canadian fans on television. It's sad, I know. It's cold, man. Fucking cold. Yeah. The Canadian star athletes put on the show. The star, yeah, they do. The Canadian star athletes in the CFL, when they who kill the league, they put on the show too. I don't even see that much of a difference, man. There's not that much of a difference, but the Americans are a bit more athletic. They have the edge, I know, but the Canadian athletes are amazing athletes too. Yeah. This is what I would pitch to the CFL committee if I was appointed CFL commissioner, obviously. If you an average person, yeah, if I was an average person and you know what I'm saying, and I became CFL commissioner, this is what I would tell the committee. Yeah, if you want to grow your league, this is what you have to do. They will laugh me off as crazy. You're crazy. We can't do that. Okay, if you don't do this, I'm stepping down as CFL commissioner and I can't grow your league. I can't think of any other way to grow your league, man. The best way to grow the league is by promoting it with the American talent in Canada. Okay, so what's your business strategy to grow the league by promoting it with yes, these guys are amazing players, but you have minimal growth. What's your strategy with promoting the Canadian Football League with the American talent? People who are not even from here. The Canadian people. What's your strategy? And they don't have an answer. We don't have an answer. Yeah, you don't have an answer because you know what I'm saying is most likely true, man. I believe that even though these guys put on a show on television, the people watching on television, they can't resonate with these guys because even though they're amazing athletes, they can't resonate with them because they're American guys. They're from a different country. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't resonate with them when they talk about them on the people panel. It's tough for me to resonate with these guys because they're American. From a different country. I don't know anything about these guys, man. Nothing about them. They're unknowns from a different country who happen to come up here and be stars, but I can't resonate them because they're American. That's just the way I feel, right? Personally, right? I can't really resonate with them. I'm right before it, Ivan. That's true. Yeah. Ivan, what if the CFO grows? What if the CFO grows? I don't know. In 10 years, the CFO like grows in revenue. Then that's good, obviously. But I mean, even if the CFO grows in a good maybe I don't know 10 years, when I watch television, yeah, these guys are CFL stars and they're amazing players who play up here, but I mean, I just can't resonate with them. They're American people, man, from different country guys. I'm a Canadian, I can't resonate with these American guys. I just can't because they're from a different country, man. Like, it's tough to resonate with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, yeah, they're American from a different country. There they go. So, CFL's like, we can't do that, but we have to give these guys an opportunity to play pro football. Like, guys, the NFL doesn't give us Canadian players an opportunity to play pro football there. So, how's that fair? The guys who don't make the NFL can play in the arena football. You don't hate them. They can play the arena football. They play the XFL. That it's not the CFL, but I mean, it's still pretty good if you play there, right? Those are minor leagues, but I mean, they can play in the arena football. They can play in the XFL. Guys, they don't make the NFL, right? Yeah, they can play there. Don't hate them. Yeah. Yeah. Now, don't make you rude, guys. Your CFL is a farm league to these American athletes. They see your league as a farm league. A lot of these guys are using your league to get another NFL opportunity, man. They don't really care, a lot of these guys, about playing in your league, man. They're only there because they didn't get an NFL opportunity, man. That's the American athletes, their dream is not playing in your CFL. Their dream is playing in the NFL. That's why they see your league as a farm league. I don't mean to be rude, it's just the truth, right? They see your league as a farm league, obviously. It's a farm league for the NFL. Yeah. Is the CFO worried about the game attendance with the Canadian talent? No. For the game attendance, they'll leave behind. We're not worried about the game attendance. We know the fans. We know CFL doesn't really struggle with game attendance. Most of their games are packed.